you know, it's hard to put the salt in my beer. You know, that's not good.
But Sean,
Yeah.
hey, you know, the month is almost over. Time is moving fast. How many days before Christmas? Well, I say it every year, but this year I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my Christmas cards early, send them to my mom early.
I say that about Halloween candy. I'm going to get my Halloween candy early, and I never do.
Well, you know, with Mom, what ends up happening is I get her Christmas cards, and then I end up having to overnight them. Because my mom says if you're giving somebody a birthday card or Christmas card, you need to give it to them early so that they can sit it out. So, for example, since my birthday is at the beginning of November, my mom starts sending me my birthday cards. Yes. So I'm like, okay. And then if she sends them and they don't arrive till the 20th, she's always like, I'm sorry for being late. I'm like, I celebrate the entire month. It's okay.
Wife S. You know, I never knew your middle name was Stephen.
Scott.
It's
Scott.
Stephen.
Scott.
Why did you change it to Scott? I thought it was Stephen.
He's named after Scott Carpenter.
Oh, I'll be darned. The astronaut. Wait a second. But your last name is Kimler.
Kimler.
Why didn't you change it to Carpenter? Oh.
The attorney, would that also be on Fall Donaldson?
Yes.
Okay. And that would also be March 6th?
Yes. And also Ignacio Rios.
You got on bond, Judge.
Ignacio Rios, where are you?
Reese.
All right. Are we here for a bond issue?
I'm gonna ask the court to set a bond on that case, and also for it's a plea deadline, Your Honor.
All right. Have you conferred with the state on the bond?
Yes, but we haven't agreed on an amount, Your Honor.
All right. So before we go on the record, so the court shows that all discovery was received, and today is your plea deadline date, Mr. Ruiz. So
we haven't. It's going to be set for trial. Yeah.
All right. So you're Mr. Ruiz. You're looking at me very quizzical. Do you understand what's happening here? All right. So the court ordered a plea deadline date for today, which means that the state had tendered an offer. So are you rejecting the state's offer?
No.
Are you requesting a jury trial? All right. State, do you know which case you'll be proceeding on first?
Does I only represent him on that 7156, I think.
7154, Judge, and I think that's assuming that we have the witnesses. That's the one we proceeding.
Okay. And who is the attorney on the other matters?
It's Mr. Davidson.
Okay.
Bill Davidson. He only hired Orca on one case. Then Mr. Davidson was appointed.
All right. So with regards to the offer that was extended in the 7154, was that offer to encompass all cases, state?
I would assume so, Judge. It didn't really. Oh yes, it did specify take care of all of the cases. So yes, that would encompass all cases.
All right. So, and that cause number, I'm going to need an acknowledgement of discovery. And then, how long are you all expecting the jury trial to last in this case?
If we get to the guilty and get to punishment, judge, maybe about a week, we can have. There's a lot of punishment at least.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ruiz, I need a jury trial setting. And can you make it a day when we have impact available?
And that would be April 3rd.
All right, April 3rd
If that's-
is your jury trial date. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Mr. Ruiz, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case after today without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Your jury trial, they're going to bring you over dressed for trial on April 3rd. They will bring you over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to sign a clothing exchange for your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know.
Thank you, Judge. And also on the bond, Your Honor, can we have a bond set?
Oh, we can have a hearing on that. And what is the bond currently set at?
I think
It's
it's remand.
remanded without bond, but he had a 40,000 before. I was asked the court if they could just double that one.
All right. So, State, are you ready to proceed on the motion to set bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 7154, State of Texas versus Raymond Ruiz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Morgan, Sheriff of State.
Defense?
Romado Otto representing Mr. Ruiz.
All right, and are you Mr. Ruiz? Defense, you filed a motion to set bond. Do you have any witnesses?
Just, just ask the court to consider the case there, but I can ask the defendant on questions.
It's
on the bond.
completely up to both parties if you have witnesses or not.
Yeah,
The
well,
rules of
just-
evidence do apply in
I don't have any
bond
witnesses.
cases
Where
where the person is remanded without bond.
well, I have one witness. I can bring her in right now, Judge.
All right, if you have a witness you would like to call, the court is here to hear witnesses.
Uh,
Mr. Reese, on this status.
And then after this case, it will be Campbell. I have a Preston, Elizondo, Bell. All right, if you come forward. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Elizabeth Mateos.
All right, defense?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Mateos, do you know Raymond Ruiz Jr.?
Yes, I do.
Do you, how are you related to him?
He is, my boyfriend.
You know, he's remanded without bond in this case.
Yes.
You're asking the court to set a bond?
Yeah.
Okay, and where do you work?
Provider for group homes.
Okay, and how much do you make a week? Okay, and you have expenses yourself?
Yes.
Okay, and how much do you make, how much do you have in expenses a week? Yeah, you're almost breaking even.
Yes.
Let me ask you, you're asking the court to set a reasonable bond in this case.
Stop mumbling.
Yes.
How would you're asking also the court to set a bond at least 40 to 80,000. Okay, how much of a bond can you afford in this case?
I don't know.
But you're still, will be trying to
Yes.
bond them out as your bond is set.
Yes.
And no further questions done. .
All right, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dave?
Is it Miss Mateos?
Yes.
Ma'am, so I guess you're the victim in an incident from October of last year, right? Or you're the alleged victim from that case?
Yes.
You understand? I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. There was an affidavit that
Yes. So you filed an affidavit of non-prosecution,
Right.
basically saying that it didn't happen, right?
No, yes.
Okay. But you understand that case was filed, that you're listed as the victim for the case.
Yes,
from
I just
October.
found that out.
So this lady right over here, she's got to take down everything that's being said. So if I'm asking a question, if you can just let me finish asking the question,
Okay,
and I'll try to do the same for you. Now you understand that the case we're here for today, that they're asking for a bond to be set for, that's not the same case that you were listed as a victim for.
That's correct.
Okay. Are you aware of the other cases that Mr. Ruiz is charged with?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What do you think he's charged with?
Assault with a deadly weapon.
I'm so sorry. Can you make sure you speak up so I can hear?
I think it's assault with a deadly weapon.
Okay. And that's the one that we're here for today,
Yes.
for the bond hearing. Are you aware that he's actually been charged with those kinds of cases before?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Are you aware that he's been charged with those kinds of cases before?
Yes, sir.
Did he tell you about those?
Yes.
And he's actually been convicted and gone to prison for them before, right?
I don't know about.
Now, on the day that this happened, I guess you talked with a constable, right? Was it Deputy Sanchez? Does that sound familiar?
I don't know what the names.
Okay, but you talked to some police officers.
It was at a convenience store.
Okay, and you talked to the officer on that day?
Yes.
And you understand the importance of telling the truth to the police,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you have any children?
Yes, it is.
What children do you have?
I have a 12-year-old.
And are you concerned for your children? It's a 12-year-old son, right?
Yes, no, no.
Okay.
They have a real good relationship.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you were saying, that last part. What did you say?
They have a real good relationship, my son and Mr. Ruiz.
And I mean, that's not really what you convey to the officers, right?
What I read from the report, it doesn't sound like anything that I said that day.
Okay.
I do none of it adds up the same thing that what happened that day.
Okay. So when you said Mr. Ruiz had threatened to kill you and your son, that is not true.
No.
Okay.
All right, and I'm sorry, just one moment. If this witness is going to deny what she's told the police, she'll probably need to have an attorney appointed to represent her. So is that your intent, to deny what's in the police report?
Yes.
All right. You want to ask another question of this witness?
We'll pass the question.
All right, any other questions?
I don't know further questions, Your Honor.
All right, may I ask one question? Is there any objection?
Okay.
How long have you known Mr. Ruiz?
I've known maybe about 10 years.
All right. And you say that you are a home health care provider?
Yes.
And are these persons that you take care of in your home?
No,
Or you go out to visit them?
Yes. Yes.
And are there any other children in your care other than this 12-year-old?
No.
Do you have children that you babysit other than the 12-year-old?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in. All right. Any other witnesses?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ruiz. All right. The court will hear argument. Defense, any other argument?
Because the only thing is that we ask the court to consider putting a bond. Usually when somebody comes in, usually the bond is doubled. That's what we're asking the court, it's in case of 80,000, bond of 80,000.
All right. Request for bond is denied. I'll see you all back on April 3rd for jury trial.
That was easy.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
We don't have a bond set at all?
No.
Not any amount?
And we're off the record, but Mr. Ruiz, while you're on bond, and I don't take any of these cases as true, but while you were on bond for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, you then are charged with assault of a peace officer, another assault with a peace officer, and retaliation. And also a retaliation. So there will be no bond set in this case.
Thank you, Judge, maybe excuse.
Yes. Thank you.
That's all, folks.